and low class. Am I not low class in any way? So what I'm saying is this. It has affected, if you cannot provide good food to your people, is it not health hazard already? Food itself is medicine to the soul. But I am telling you this. How many people eat quality meal in Nigeria? Go to people who are selling. The food they are selling is tasteless, has no taste. They sell in quantity and is even still expensive. Those are what people depend on. How can you buy it? Do you know the price of gas now? One kg is 12,000, is 1,000. How many people can buy kerosene? Answer me now. Talk less of going to buy pepper. Have you gone to the market? I was in market yesterday. I went to, normally, before I talk on radio, I went to market, Itire market, to be specific. I went round to price vegetable, to price it, to price that, to price. I went to abattoir. The idea is, I don't want to come and start telling rules. I don't want to come and start giving information that I don't have firsthand. It's very expensive. You only, it is when you go in the evening, almost the meat that flies has even passed a lot of toxins. That's when you get it. Meat, standard meat, they'll give it to you at 10,000. Good meat. Not the one that is soaked with water. You know that some they will put chemical water, it will boof up. That is the problem we have. Fish in this country, let me tell you, we still subsidize fish to the tune of $1 billion. The capacity of fish we do, we only produce about 25% of what is required. Whereas we have riverine area. Most of the fish they caught, they will cargo it somewhere and come and sell it because of foreign exchange. Are they not Nigerian? Look at South. Look at the kind of water we have. There is, even if you check Lagos in Badagry, there's an aquaculture they did there. It don't have problem now because of the saltiness. Because Atlantic and water comes in the high salt capacity, it will disrupt. Are we saying we don't have people who have knowledge? Yes, we have them. The World Bank assisted project in Badagry is in Shambu. It was well lit. I show interest in all those ones. The question, even the aquaculture they put, you understand? Did they do what is right? Did they give you equal spacing? We give things to quack. We don't even respect ourselves. We believe it's only Onyibo can direct us. That is our problem. And the people who implement, they don't care because they are feeding fat on our money. Look, if we improve on food capacity, disease will go. Food, not eating good meal is as good as exposed to hunger. See most Nigerians are emaciating. Go to bus stop, go to market, and see the problem we have. And yet, our people are living in riches and opulence. They are buying 160 cars. Their generator is 24/7. They live life in opulence. They do the jet. When it is time for all sorts of summit, they go. Summit that relevant or irrelevant, they go and spend billions of them.
Let's take this call, Mr. Adubumi, and then we move on to the next topic. Hello, good morning. Hello, Pastor Bonomsi, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, please go ahead very quickly.
Yes. There's this security between the medical of the hospital work and the bricklayer. Now, what they're saying now is that the Western countries are trying to bring their bad foods, and they're promoting it very heavily now. People eat rubbish now, junks, and that's resulting into a lot of people getting diabetes. And when you have diabetes, that is high blood sugar. It is linked to about 11 death symptoms. That is bad ailments like Alzheimer's, dementia, stroke, heart attack, and so many of them like that. And you see, if you go to Dimota, you see billions every day being spent by our people. So the government should actually be aware that this is a conspiracy they are transferring their bad something to Africa. And we should try and promote this alternative medicine thing so that we can have the way to go out of this people. Because what we are eating now, if you go to the streets now, you see all sort of food they sell in the streets now, bad meat. Our youth, our people are buying this bad meat. They sell it all over the place in Lagos now. So please, my advocacy is that the government should promote alternative medicine alternative medicine is the answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pastor Badamosi, for your contribution. Mr. Adubibi, let's go to Dubai. I'm sure you have your flight ticket already. The Nigerian government is currently being dragged across social media and other media platforms for traveling with, not the Nigerian government, let me be particular, the Nigerian President Tinubu himself, for traveling with 1,411 delegates to the Conference of Parties COP28 Climate Change Summit holding in Dubai. 1,411, making him the African leader with the highest delegates and the third largest representation of foreign delegates after China and Brazil. 1,411. Nigerians have been expressing their anger about the large Nigerian delegation attending the event, which also drew over 97,000 participants from over 100 countries of the world. In a time when we have constantly and we're still calling for reduction in the cost of governance, in a time when the president and his cabinet have asked Nigerians to be patient, to tighten seatbelts, to tighten our belts and choke, was sponsoring 1,411. Even though the presidency has come out to debunk it, they said the federal government didn't sponsor 1,411 delegates to COP28. Okay, what did the federal government do? They said that only a handful. How do you measure a handful of 1,411? Let me take your thoughts on that.
Well, let's be frank. We know now that the characteristic of the kind of governance we do is messianic type and very employic in nature.
When you say Messianic, what does that mean?
Messianic, I'm telling you now that, a Messiah will have delegates too. That is, whenever the president is going, there are a lot of Messiah that go. The same thing, this obvious thing happened at Shaddam's house. Let the truth be told. I want to ask, this to me, as far as I'm concerned, is squandermaniac. In the sense that, one, I know we have to to shore for investment. Shoring for investment, we need to be conversant. It should not be more than maximum 50. That is my own specific. Why? 50 in the sense that minister involved should come, because every investment is not all the sectors that are involved in the investment. 2, the business owners should pay for their tickets. They should pay. In US today, even if the government invites, unless it is provision, the government will pick the bill. Even the meal they eat in the government house now, if Biden decided to become Father Christmas, he will have to pay. But at home, it is Gbogbo Ọjọ́ Lọ́dún. In all our state house, every day is Christmas. It's the same thing we still do. Remember, the last trip that we got to the fact that they spent about $500 million. And that is average spending. Even though we're saying now that handful, how do we define handful? What is the relevance of this handful? Is it every meeting will go? And come to think of it, I agree that yes, we're going for investment. But those investments will not fly in the moon to come and meet us. What do we have in the house? How prepared are we in the house?
Mr. Dugumi, are we going for investment at the COP28 summit? That's one. Then 2, now I've listened to all kinds of analysis about this particular matter. In fact, some have argued that, look, as far as the last administration is concerned, they literally just killed Nigeria as far as the economy is concerned. But it does appear that this present administration is continuing and they are doing the part of burying the country as far as the economy is concerned.
I don't want to say they bury, but my own case is, under Goodluck Jonathan, they went around the world seeking for investment. What is the outcome of it? Under PMB, Buhari, he went to almost every nation that I know.
Under Obasanjo too.
Obasanjo, they went to every nation I know.
saw the fruits of Obasanjo's travels.
we saw element, don't say element of fruit.
We saw the fruit. It was substantial.
These
Hold
are, we
on.
did not even see the stem.
I said we
let
saw.
alone the elements of
Let's
fruit.
agree we got element of fruit. But there's no element of fruit in Jonathan. There's no fruit in Buhari's case. The questioner asked, must we follow the same cyclical cycle? Are we saying we don't have other strategy we could do in order to be able to gather investment? Must we go and be a beggar? Remember, this same Nigeria has enough human resources. Most of our people are in the world trailblazers. Nigerians are very intelligent. We have our oil that despite the look, we are budgeting that we want to do 1.78 million. OPEC recommendation is 1.5 million barrels per day. My dear brother, even in the last season, we had 200 and something attempts. Only the small one they will show air jetta, this, that. As at that time now, the going about our protecting our oil, 6 nautical zone mile was what Tantica is supposed to do. But Tantica is going about 12 nautical mile outside the zone. And yet we have all the forces, we have all the vigilante. Is it not true? Is it not a cyclical card we are talking about? We have voted so much on security. And yet we have vessels. Some vessels, when they are going, they'll be escorted by the same force. What are we deceiving ourselves? The question I still say, I'm not saying we should not shop for investment. But look, a house that is divided against itself, can it stand? Most of all those contracts they sign will remain a promissory note until they are fully implemented
so
here.
look, I mean, 1,411 people. Now, if you actually do the math, the flight ticket alone is just very close to 1 billion.
I have told you that is Kwandamania. How else do you want me to describe it?
You know, it's absolutely crazy and mind-boggling.
Don't use too many
we
English
need
now.
we need to begin to round up
I
this
said
up,
it
really.
is Kwandamania because it's not going to drive any meaningful. The people that went in now, look, they are government patronage. Which business are they going to be? Are they not going to be the person that will be at the interface?
There are some names I saw, and I'm like,
We
what
need to
are
begin to
You
round
will
up this
see
argument.
different
Well,
names of shades and colors.
Hopefully, one of the days this week we'll talk
Okay.
comprehensively on this climate change and COP28.
No
right?
problem.
We'll talk extensively on it. Look at the list of the people that the president took along as delegates and their importance, if any, to the conversation. Right? But we have to go now. We'll have a comment on Facebook.
Okun Namdi from Labour Line in Afikpo, that's in Ebonyi State, says the